Um, Christianity really comes down to something that is tangible. A lot of people talk about, you're praying to God. Where is God? Can I touch Him? Can I see Him in action? All that type of thing. And 4 years ago or so, your life was changed because your mother had a massive heart attack, right?
Yeah, she had a stroke.
And they didn't give her much of a chance of continuing on this earth. It's an amazing story because this to me is where the rubber meets the road. I was blind, but now I see. I mean, that's it, right? And I think it even amazed you, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, my mother's had 4 strokes now, 3 heart attacks, a cardiac arrest, congestive heart failure, liver failure, kidney failure, intubation, put on a ventilator, had a do not resuscitate order, and we were told that they wanted to pull the plug on her after 3 weeks of being hospitalized under these severe conditions for the second time. And that was a fearsome prospect, and it challenged us to think differently about faith and about prayer and about healing and about how you approach things like this and trusting God. And we were both challenged, and our faith was ignited in the midst of that. And my mother has survived all that and more, including a mastectomy and aggressive stage 3 cancer, in which we were told that she had needed chemotherapy and radiation therapy long before it was diagnosed, that she might not have a long time to live. Well, 6 months later, we get a call from the oncologist after we said, what we're going to do is pray. No chemo, no radiation. We're going to pray. Well, they looked at us like we were Appalachian snake handlers, like we'd lost our minds. And maybe we had lost our minds, but we found something else. And it wasn't anti-intellectual. It wasn't even unreasonable. It was just something that requires seeing the challenges of life from a new perspective. Do you believe that we're just time plus chance plus matter, result of something that's blind fatalism, or are we part of this beautiful dance? Are we called into this intimate relationship with our Creator that takes faith, yes, but also it's not unreasonable, it's not inconsistent with human values and compassion and the transformation of people and societies and what can happen when there's a real faith and compassion. Anyway, all that to say, my mom's doing great.
And we have a story to tell. And in the past, I don't know that we've done a great job of telling it. But you're challenged right now to raise the bar with the creative people that are out there that are believers.
Well, look at the way people have gotten information about life historically. It's been through myth, and it's been through religious tradition, but the Hebrews came along with prophetic revelation, and they claimed, eventually messianic presence and authority. And later the French Enlightenment comes along and reason trumps revelation. People no longer believe in that. I mean, this is all sort of seen as misleading and unnecessary. And then data comes and trumps reason alone. And modernism comes on the scene. Postmodern comes after that. And story and existentialism trumps even data, because it's not perceived to be a sufficient explanation for why we're here. So if we've come to the point where people look at one another and say, what is your truth? And we're really like, hyper-existential, then you need to think about that. What is your truth? What has experience revealed to you? What has learning? What has history? What is your acquaintance with any set of ideas done to transform you? And people have a right to consider what the transformative effect of your truth is. And that doesn't mean there's no transcendent standard of truth that can't be held to a higher vision of inquiry or empiricism or archaeology or the way we look at history. There's got to be some way of looking at things and saying, these are reliable ideas, these are less reliable, and these are totally unreliable ideas. Whatever that measure or standard is, we've got to get to the point where we can look at ideas and see their effect on people and societies. And I go back again to the idea that Christianity has some serious problems. And if Acton was right that power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely, then we should question what power does to people, even religious people, even people who start with good motives. And I think the tonic for acquiring power is humility. and servant leadership and caring about others and putting their needs above our own. That doesn't come easily.